Hey everyone, it's Michelle and this is Sweet Pea Farm NY, and today I thought I'd talk to you guys a little bit about poultry. Now we live in upstate New York, which is zone 4A, which is like a gardening zone, but it's a very extreme climate. Today it's March 23rd and it's about 32 degrees outside and snowing at the moment. Which is not uncommon for us. We often have snow into April sometimes, so unfortunately I have to shoot this in the barn because it's too windy and snowy outside. But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what's the best poultry for your farm. So the first poultry we introduced to our farm 8 years ago when we built the place was ducks. We had got some ducklings from Tractor Supply. When we built our house, we had to excavate a pond to use for some backfill, plus it was marshy, so we figured it'd be fun, and it's worked out wonderfully. So with a pond, of course you need ducks to live on it, right? So we started with Rouen ducks, which are a meat breed. We ended up switching over to khaki Campbells eventually. The Rouens left. They flew away, and so we got khaki Campbells, and they're a great dual purpose duck, but they're great for eggs. We really enjoy using their eggs for baking. The eggs are great for people who need more alkaline in their diet, and they're just a really nutritiously dense egg. Some people are put off by them a little bit, but I don't notice any difference in flavor. Granted, all our ducks and chickens free range, so they're all eating the same stuff, the same poultry food when they want to. The ducks eat way less than the chickens. They prefer to be out on the pond eating grubs and grass, whereas the chickens will obviously not be on the pond, but they definitely free range as well, and they lay more eggs for us because once the ducks move to the pond in the spring, it becomes very difficult to find their nest of eggs, and sometimes they lay them in the water. So unless you're going to coop your ducks up, which would be very messy, you're not going to have eggs year-round from them. We do coop up the chickens on occasion, but in the winter when it's cold, we let them free range in the barn because it just gives them more warmth. With all the sheep in here, it's warmer in the barn. So when the ducks and chickens are free ranging in the barn, it becomes kind of like a daily Easter egg hunt. They do tend to have their favorite spots to lay eggs, but those can often change depending on if we change them. So you'll see some of those chickens were just laying eggs in the hay, but that can change if I move the hay bale and it changes the way the nest looks to them, and then they find somewhere else to go. So that can be a little bit tricky, but keeping them in a coop until they're done laying is a good answer to that. This is just the way we do things. So the chickens, on average, when they're young, the first couple of years will lay about an egg a day, depending on the breed of chicken. There are so many breeds of chickens. I just showed you guys what's called a midnight Moran from Hoover's Hatchery. They're kind of like a black copper Moran. They lay really dark eggs. And there was also a bantam hen in there, a Japanese bantam. She lays really tiny eggs. So you have to take all those things into consideration. We love different colored eggs, so we have a variety of Easter eggers, olive eggers, the Morans. We've got some Rhode Island Reds, some Buff Orpingtons, just to have like a nice variety of egg color. So depending on if you have a pond or not, ducks may be great for you. Ducks are super hands-off and easy to raise if you have a pond. If you don't, then there's a lot of water changing because the ducks need water to preen themselves, plus they need it to drink. So that's something to take in consideration. On our farm, ducks are super easy, but not everybody's farm is the same. If you don't have a pond and you have to put them in a coop, or you want to coop them up so that you can get their eggs every day, that may be a little bit more work intensive because you have to clean, and they love to play in water. So the chickens are not as bad. When they are in their coop, we clean their coop out once a week. It's just shavings. We shovel them out, put new in, very quick, very easy. When they are free ranging, they do like to get up on things and roost and poop, so that is something to take into consideration. But they do lay eggs pretty much. There's a couple months in the winter, but other than that, you get eggs every day. So it's a great thing to have, especially nowadays when stores are closing and everything. So something to think about. And you can have a fun variety of eggs, which makes the kids more interested in eating eggs because they're different colors, and it's just fun. So some other poultry we have besides the ducks and chickens are, of course, our peacocks, which you probably just heard in the background. There are 2 up on the hay here. That's a male on top and a female underneath. These peacocks particularly are 2 years old, and even when he fans out his feathers, like his head and neck are beautiful blue-green, but he doesn't have the big train of feathers yet. That takes quite a bit of time. Every year they shed their feathers, and every year their feathers grow back bigger. So it's not an immediate thing to have those big ornamental birds. But as you can see, he's still beautiful. He's got really bright blue-green feathers and the little fun things on top of his head. I'm not sure what those are called, but we do let the peacocks free range because I have them just for my pure entertainment, and I like to see them around and hear their noises. They do make quite a bit of noise on occasion when they're calling for each other. It is endearing to me, but not everyone loves it. And you can kind of see his feathers back here are all still pretty brown. There's not a lot of green in there. There's a little bit, but not much. So peacocks also won't start laying eggs until they're usually a couple years old. So maybe this girl will lay eggs in May. Maybe she won't. I'm not really sure. They are the first peacocks we've raised. So I don't know. They have a buddy somewhere. This is the 3rd one. We bought 6, and I found the pea chicks to be a little bit more difficult to raise. And so out of the 6 that we bought, New York State, they require you to buy 6 birds of everything. So out of the 6 we bought, we only got the 3, 2 boys and 1 girl. And they love this blue tractor. They think that it's their mommy or something, and my husband hates it because they roost on it every night and poop all over. So along with the ducks and chickens and peacocks, we also have a pair of broad-breasted bronze turkeys. This is the male. His partner in crime is actually in the other barn sitting on a nest of eggs. So we are hopeful that she maybe will hatch some baby turkeys. That's why we have them, is at least to hatch the eggs out ourselves, if not have them. He's pretty noisy, but he's not mean, so that's a bonus. So the purpose of the turkeys for us is essentially meat. Although the pair that we have, we're not interested in butchering them specifically. We do plan to have poults. Baby turkeys are called turkey poults, and raise them and butcher them for meat because everybody in my family likes turkey. So we hope to have turkey meat added to our freezers at the end of the summer, and so that's the purpose for them. So ducks for entertainment and eggs, chickens for eggs essentially, and the little girls love them. Some of the chickens are very friendly, and peacocks for my pure entertainment, and the turkeys for meat. And it just depends on what your farm is set up like and what your family enjoys. If you guys don't like eating eggs, then chickens are not necessarily something you need. They can eat quite a bit and make quite a mess if you don't like eating the eggs. If you have family members that are allergic to chicken eggs, sometimes duck eggs are a better option. They can eat duck eggs sometimes, not always. So maybe you want to find some local duck eggs, and if that works, then grab some ducks. You just might have to clean up after more if you don't have a pond for them to go out on. So I hope this video was helpful in showing you some of our poultry and maybe giving you some things to think about when you are planning on your poultry order this spring. We order all our poultry from Hoover's Hatchery, and we've had great luck with them. I know there's other people that use other places, and that's great too. Maybe whatever's closest. If you have a local hatchery, that'd be wonderful. So I hope you guys enjoyed meeting some of our poultry, and everyone is staying safe and healthy and calm. That's my biggest struggle, is staying calm with all this, being in New York. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with what's going on the farm. We have one sheep left to have her babies. She's got till the end of the month to do it. And we have 2 goats that'll kid out in May. So still lots of stuff going on, and the garden will start in May. Garden prep will start as soon as the snow stops. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much.